Yes. Welcome into another episode of Buzzer Beater Banter. Yes, the Triple B, episode 3. We are in the building, and there's not a long intro for me today. We have special guest, Mr. Norman Locke, ESPN's own Norman Locke, coming on the program. I'm ecstatic. We're talking college football. Did the committee make the right decision? We're also talking who out of the teams remaining are the best team. We're also talking who should win the Heisman. Should Jayden Daniels win the Heisman? Norm has a controversial take. We'll also talk about who has what coaches are on the hot seat as well. Then in the NFL, we're talking about the Saints. Norm lays into them. We talk about the Cowboys. We also talk about the Chiefs. We talk about the most surprising team in the NFL, and we get Norm's picks and much, much more. It's a jam-packed show. So without further ado, let's jump into episode 3 of Buzzer Beater Banter. Hello, Triple B Nation. Y'all know for the second interview of the show, it would have been the first, but it just so happened that the Pelicans were playing in-season tournament. It just worked out to where I had to do that. But for the second guest, I had to go get my brother. He started off as a person who was in, I don't want to say a co-worker. It then went from co-worker to acquaintance to friend, and this dude's my brother for life. I look up to this guy. He helped me out so much, and basically we in this thing for good. Yeah. This my brother, Mr. Norman Locke, on the show, ESPN's own. Let me say that again. ESPN's own Norman Locke. How you doing, brother?
What's poppin', Lynn? What's poppin'? I'm happy to be on the network.
Yes, sir. Happy to have you. It's long overdue, and I'm excited that you are in. Because funny enough, Norm, I never had a sports show on my own podcast network. I had other people had sports shows, and I contributed. This is my first sports show catered to how I think it should work based on what you taught me at 103.3, based on what I learned, and basically what I did. So I'm excited to have you on this version of the show, Triple B, Buzzer Beater Banter, baby.
That's what you're calling it?
That's the name of the show. It's Buzzer Beater Banter, the Triple B, and yeah.
All right, so now how you gonna talk football on the Buzzer Beater Banter?
Because anytime they have Hail Mary throws, it's still a buzzer beater.
You act like that's basketball guy, bro. You such a basketball guy. I see you got the Pelicans jersey up there. You got the Drake. He's such a basketball guy, bro.
I can't lie. You know that's the reason why our show was so special when we had a show together was because you were a football guy, I was a basketball guy, and we both well versed in other sports, just like you know basketball, just like I know football. But when we talk about our specialties, for sure, I'm a basketball guy, you're a football guy. And that's why for this episode, I had to come get you to talk about what's going on in college football, in the NFL. But before we get into that, how you been for people out there that followed our show? Because we have a bunch of listeners from the old station that listen to Buzzer Beater Banter. Thank you to everybody who checked out episode 1. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. Thank you to everybody who checked out episode 2. Jake Madison for coming on. Literally, we're building this. It's a daily sports show. I'm trying to figure this out, but I got a lot of time on my hands, so we're going to work it out perfectly. So thank you to everybody who's listening and following along. But for those that knew us on 103.3 The GOAT, and for those that are coming from BrosWhoThink, my network, tell us a little bit about you and how you've been doing.
Man, I can't really complain. I'm out here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I just been working, Lynn. Like you know us, bro. We're gonna get to the grind.
Facts.
Before anything. So just been working, watching sports. You know, it's football season, so in the thick of things.
So when you say working, let people know, what you do, like for those that don't know.
Oh, all right, okay. So, my name is Norman Locke, formerly known as Batman. I do a lot, Lynn. So, other than my Batman lifestyle, I'm a production assistant at ESPN in Charlotte.
That's what I meant. Yeah. I wanted you to tell them about your credentials, nigga.
Yeah, but see that doesn't have the sports acumen. you know.
Fair.
I don't want lean. They call it leaning on the shield. I don't want lean on the
No,
shield.
but you worked hard for that. Like I know where you came from. You grinded in the trenches in local radio, and now you're moving up in your career. You're at the flagship. So I think it's necessary that people know how hard you worked and know that what you say is not only valid, but there's I don't even want to say that there's what's the word I'm looking for that gives it more prudence.
You gotta get your Stephen A. You gotta get your where your words at.
It gives I don't want to say credibility but it does give you credibility. And even though you don't need that because you're knowledgeable, but I think for people out there that don't know who are like, why is Lennon bringing on this random guy? This guy isn't random. There's a purpose. Yeah, not at all. And like I said, he's the person who showed me the way in this media game. But glad to have you, sir. Let's start off because, like you said, you spent a lot of time covering college football, working on college football this year. Let me ask you, did the committee make a mistake?
You have to ask yourself, was the dollar the bottom line? If that was the bottom line, the committee didn't make a mistake. If these TV contracts is the end all be all, they didn't make a mistake. If players want higher NIL deals, they did not make a mistake.
Facts.
Did FSU do anything wrong? No.
No, not at all. They can't help what happened.
SEC teams, they beat SEC teams. They won their conference. They were undefeated. What I don't like is I don't like the excuse of Jordan Travis being injured is why FSU didn't make it in.
Now you know we gotta talk. Now I would rather me and you go get into it. I gotta ask you. I gotta stop you because you telling me. Because to me, I said it's got to be the 4 best. That's what the committee showed us back when we did our show. That's what they've been showing us. It's about the 4 best. And if you look on their website, what they take in, injuries do matter. Come on, Norm. You know that Florida State, without Jordan Travis, with their 3rd string, is not one of the 4 best teams. And to me, if they would have beat Louisville, let's say 35-6, 40-6, maybe even 28-6, but to beat Louisville 16-6 with your 3rd string, that told me right then and there, you're not one of the best 4 teams.
But you sat there and you watch Oregon and Washington stink it up for a first half, and it's easy to say that those was 2 of the best teams. Like that's what I just disagree. So
that's fair.
So what more could they have displayed? I don't think that the out of one player being subbed out of a game determines the rest of the team.
And see,
if you were to tell me that since Tua got hurt when Alabama went to the national championship and Jalen Hurts couldn't get in, did Alabama deserve not to go? When Ohio State had a ration of injuries and JT Barrett had to jump in, would they have not deserved to go? So I just don't think that we take the quarterback out of the equation. I think Florida State is still a great team. They have one of the best defenses in the country. And if the 3rd stringer did go win it, isn't that a hell of a story?
Okay, so I'm ready to respond to you. I think that is a hell of a story. But to your point about Tua, I think that if it was Tua and Jalen Hurts and then the 3rd string, if Tua got out and Jalen Hurts was healthy, they'd have made it. But I think if Jalen Hurts is hurt, like this Florida State situation, it's not even a 2nd string quarterback. Because I'm with you. If they got their 2nd string, the defense and what they have off. I mean, look, Keon Coleman, arguably the best receiver in the country. Let's call a spade a spade. I think he's better than Malik Neighbors, in my personal opinion. I think if the 2nd string was available, then you could put him in. But the 3rd string, man, is just, I don't know, Norm. To me, it's just Alabama showed they beat Georgia. They beat the 2-time defending champs that haven't lost in 2 years. They are clearly one of the best teams. Mirror World figured it out. Quinn Ewers in Texas is my favorite overall. Michigan, I don't like J.J. McCarthy, but they have a good team. And I'm with you. Washington isn't the best team. If Washington had 1 loss, then I'm arguing you put Florida State in over Washington because, to your point, I don't think the Pac-12 teams are really all that good, but Washington's undefeated and they have Michael Penix. So it's a bad situation for Florida State. Like you said, I don't think they did anything wrong. I just think if they had even their second string quarterback, they have a better case. Also, why they not pushing to say how you let Michigan in and Michigan had that cheating scandal? That's what I'd have been saying.
What they got caught for?
For scouting or whatever.
Did the team get punished?
No, that man got punished. You're right. The man and the coach
got punished.
Yeah, sure.
So that's separate. And I want to kill that. I heard people saying that, and I'm like, he got punished. What did the team
he did?
do?
He didn't do nothing. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Then with Washington, I like Washington, but is Washington better than Georgia?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is Washington better than Georgia?
I don't think so. Yeah.
So I can't say that Washington is better than FSU.
That's fair. And look,
we watched that game. We watched against Oregon. It wasn't high flying football going on in that game.
It wasn't.
So I can't say that the best 4 teams are in, but I can't say the most lucrative 4 teams are in.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. By that point, that is fair because I don't necessarily think Washington is better than Ohio State or Georgia or even Florida State. If it's the best 4, then you take Washington out, but that sets too much of a precedent of so this conference doesn't matter like at all, and it sets a really bad precedent. So I guess it is about necessarily money to that point.
Money. Yeah. It's about the money.
You have Bama in for the SEC. You have Texas for that Big 12 region. So that region of the country says, even though Texas is going to SEC, they still represent us and they're in. You have Michigan representing the Ohio State, Penn State area, the middle of the country. And then, forget the East Coast. I'm sorry, ACC, Florida. We're not really considering you. We're not considering you the East Coast.
East Coast, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not really considering Florida State you part of the East Coast. So with Washington, at least we can, even though the Pac-12 is leaving, we can still keep that area of the country invested because they could say, hey, this team is good and made it in. So to your point, it is a little about money to that. Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, if we're going to cry over FSU not making it, I'll cry bigger tears if I'm a Georgia fan.
Yeah. No, that's like Bama, you lost to Ole Miss. Like
come on now. Like that's what I'll be upset if I'm Georgia because I'm like, hold on. So we lose one game and Alabama will go from 8th to 4th.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
But you see, but I'm not a hater. That's that Nick Saban effect. And it's okay. It happens. It happens. You got the juice, some things are for you. It's the Nick Saban effect.
Excuse me, they didn't lose to Ole Miss. They just lost to Texas. I was thinking of LSU, but they played a close game against Ole Miss and they almost lost to Auburn only on a Hail Mary. I think I believe it was either Marcus Spears or Booger McFarland. One of them mentioned, so we're not going to forget about what happened in Jordan-Hare 2 weeks ago. Georgia fans do have a bigger complaint to me than a lot of these other teams. That's fair.
So that's how I feel.
No, that's very fair. Let me ask you now, since we talked about the playoffs, before we get to who you think will win it, who do you think was the most impressive team in college football this year? Who do you think was and also who do you think was the team that, they didn't live up to expectations and they really under impressed and basically didn't do what people thought they would have did in the preseason?
I'm gonna say
you can do most impressive too if you want first, whichever one you want to do first.
I'm gonna start with underachieved. I'm gonna say Tennessee.
Yeah,
I had very high hopes of Tennessee repeating.
They thought Joe Milton was about to be Hendon Hooker again.
They thought Joe Milton. Yeah, a lot of people was high on Joe Milton.
That's a fact.
I think they underachieved. Most exciting team. I'm gonna have to say LSU. Just because the defense was so bad that other teams were scoring a lot. So I'll say the games were exciting because you had a lot of points scored on both sides of the football.
Look, I think if LSU, and you can testify to this, I think this was the worst LSU defense we've seen in our lifetimes. I
wouldn't
can't
agree.
talk about. I
I
can't
wouldn't
talk
agree.
about the. Okay, well, I'll hear you. I can't talk about the '90s, but I can say from 2000 and now, I feel like this was the worst LSU defense because even when LSU wasn't a good team, they always had a decent to good defense. It was offense that was lackluster. I think they had a championship offense this season. And if you take any of the Tyrann Mathieu defenses, the Patrick Peterson defenses, the Marcus Spears defense, the 19 championship defense, the year before the championship defense, and the year after championship defense, if you take any of those, I think LSU is in the playoffs.
And I'm gonna say, Lynn, I'm a realist.
Okay.
Wasn't the writing on the wall when they gave the number 7 to our offensive lineman?
Great point. Great point.
What was that? Where was
I didn't
everybody
like that at all. I
When that
didn't.
he didn't
Yeah,
even wear it.
he didn't. It
He
was a
didn't even wear
patch.
it.
It was a patch. I hated
It was
that.
a patch?
Yeah, it was a patch.
I didn't even know that. You teach me.
No, yeah, no. He
So the writing was on the
100%.
wall.
He didn't think opinion wise. He thought that he wasn't a skilled player, so he basically because he wasn't a skilled player, they couldn't officially give it to him, so they gave him a patch, and he had a patch on his jersey, and he was the number 7. But yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
And that's what I'm talking about. So they were exciting because that's exciting. Oh man, offensive lineman number 7, and then you get there, and you're like, oh, it's a patch.
It was a patch, yeah.
It's a nice patch there, fella. you know. So the writing was on the wall, but Jayden Daniels, Heisman hopeful.
You think he gonna win it? Because that's what That's what I was gonna ask you next.
Better say that. I don't think he's the Heisman.
Who you giving it to?
I'll say Michael Penix. Yeah,
why are you giving it to Michael Penix? Because of the wins too? Because to me, the Heisman is an individual award. We saw Tim Tebow win with 4 losses. We saw RG3 win with 3 losses. To me, if Michael Penix was head and shoulders better than Jayden Daniels, I would say. But Jayden Daniels has been legitimately the best offensive player in college football. He has this, if not better stats, similar stats to Michael Penix.
He has better.
Plus, when you consider he has better quarterback passing stats, he then has 1,000+ rushing yards in the amount of rushing TDs that a running back would get. I
got a question for you then.
What you got?
It should be easy for you to answer this for me then.
Okay.
What was his Heisman moment?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I would say his Heisman moment is when he ran it in on Florida, that big run where you remember when he scored like 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns that game? I think his Heisman moment was in the Florida game, which is not really a great Heisman moment to answer that question for you.
King, when all
I can be honest about that. It's not a good one.
Name that had those multiple losses.
They had moments. That's fair. Fair.
And and then I go back to that Alabama game.
If he would have beat Bama, that's his Heisman moment.
And then I look across from him, and the quarterback for Alabama had the exact same stats.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is,
you can argue in the big games, Jayden Daniels didn't show up. Ole Miss, Bama, the games they lost, he and Florida State, those 3 games he did not show up in those games.
So my question is like, okay, Lynn, every other game against teams,
Baller.
I throw 350 yards because I have to throw 350 yards. Is it really meaningful? Like it was I didn't feel the impact. That's just me.
That's fair.
He had some great throws. I was like, oh, that's a nice throw, nice 3 pass. Great runs, exciting runs.
Yeah, incredible runs.
I just don't feel like he had that Heisman moment, and I feel like I would even implore to give it to Neighbors, Malik.
Wow. See, I would say Blake Corum. Really, if we really want to get down to it, I would say Blake Corum before some of the quarterbacks, because I think Blake Corum carries that team because JJ McCarthy is trash. I do not like JJ McCarthy as a quarterback at all. And Michigan will not win a championship because of him.
Nah, I don't think they win a championship for a lot of reasons.
We'll get to that, but
I do think that if you don't have a unsung quarterback, you give it to a different position. The quarterbacks were all around the same, like the year that Smith won from Alabama. I mean, the quarterback had to throw him the ball.
Yeah.
Could have won.
Sure but they was all similar. Mac Jones was similar to everybody else. That's fair.
So that's just my thoughts about it. So I do think he has a good chance, though. He's a betting favorite.
Yeah, he is. That's fair. And that's why I asked, because I knew you would be honest. Let me ask you, just in terms of some teams that maybe need to make changes, are you worried about Billy Napier, Florida?
Well, according to today, Coach O might be going over there.
Wow, as the head coach or like as like a coordinator?
Rumors, defensive line coach.
Defensive line coach. Got you.
Rumors. Twitter rumors. If that's true, if he's able to bolster his recruiting, because I think that's the problem is he needs better recruiting. Because I mean, we can go back and say he failed Anthony Richardson. I can go back and look at the tape and say, all right, yeah, you didn't put enough talent around this kid. From what I saw for the flashes with the coach, he had talent.
Yeah, facts.
So it's just like, okay, Billy, now I say this season he's on the clock though.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm with you. I think he needs the chicken to make chicken salad, but I'm with you. When he had Anthony Richardson, he didn't put anybody around him. And I think if he recruits better, then Florida could get back up. Now, Brian Kelly's not going anywhere, but there needs to be a change because this is his second year in a row of having a piss poor defense for LSU. Let me ask you, what do you think LSU needs to do in terms to get this defense back to, if not the old levels, to the Les Miles levels, to what we know LSU is capable of?
You gotta recruit better.
Yeah.
They're losing recruitment.
They are.
I mean, look at the big boys that's coming out of Georgia. Look at the big boys that's come out of Bama. They're losing recruitment.
The defense is going to elsewhere, which is crazy to me.
When is the last time LSU had a first-round defensive tackle?
Ooh, that's a great question. Arden Key? Is it Arden Key? And he was late first round too to that point.
So, I think that's the issue. Got to get better at recruiting on that defensive line in football. Like you said in the years past, LSU religiously, they putting out linebackers, linemen,
in secondary
of the backs. You know what I'm saying? But now it's more predicated to the offense. But even with the offense, when the last time LSU had a good running back?
That's another thing that LSU's known for running the ball and playing good defense. Everybody always wanted him to get a quarterback and to be able to pass. Well, now we can pass and we have great receivers, but the two things we were known for are no longer here. Like, shout out to Logan Diggs. He made a good situation out of something that wasn't expected of him. He played well for LSU, but was he the traditional bell cow that LSU is used to? No, we haven't had one of them since what? Leonard Fournette, because Darius Geis wasn't even he was a downgrade from Fournette.
And I'm gonna say Geis was for sure a downgrade from Fournette, and we know Hilaire hasn't really panned out in the NFL.
He was a scat back.
So it's just when's the next big time LSU back going to come through? When's the next stud?
And I know you remember hearing nothing because we were doing our show at that time. Everybody kept talking to us about John Emery this, John Emery that. John Emery turned out to be a bust. I'm sorry, I don't like to say that, but I heard so much about this guy coming out of high school, and he hasn't done anything his whole career at LSU.
And that's what LSU A&M. That's what it is. When you look on the degrees, that's what it says.
They need to
State University Agriculture and Mechanical College. That's what it says on the degrees. LSU A&M. So,
they need to recruit better, though. That's a fact. Now, let me ask you, and we'll finish up college football here. Who do you like out of the four teams? To me, I like Texas a lot because Texas has an offense that is not only consistent, but they are capable of putting up big numbers. Unlike Bama, Milroe has figured it out, but he's not consistent. I don't like McCarthy. Michael Penix is good, but on the flip, the reason why I say Texas is balanced, they have a good defense. Washington can't stop a nosebleed. Michigan has a good defense, and Bama's defense isn't as good as we're used to, but it's still solid. So that's why I'm taking Texas overall. Who are you leaning towards?
I'm not going against Nick Saban.
Fair.
Look in here, y'all and let Darth Vader in the building. He who remains.
Yep.
You know, we will not say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all let him in the building.
Thanos is here.
He leaving here with something. Nick Saban leaving here with something. He ain't just win the SEC championship just to come play. He leaving here with something.
Look, I definitely think they beat Michigan. I'm with. Look, I'll give you
that.
that.
Beat the Seahawks. Did you see the viral video of them like, the boys hit hard. Man, them ain't no this. No.
Wait, no, they said that the Michigan team was like, oh no. See, that's defeated already. If they did that, they're defeated already.
Listen, them boys hit hard. This ain't that. Oh, we play in the snow. This ain't that. No. These boys play on the concrete. It's different in Bama. No.
And it's not going to be in the snow either. What are they playing at the Rose Bowl? Or aren't they playing in
Houston? No, you're right. No.
Yeah, so they go play in California. Yeah, because they didn't want to give them the Sugar Bowl because they figured that was too much of a home game. I think they're giving Texas and Washington the Sugar Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, crazy. So to me, that's more home field for Texas too than pull Washington.
It is.
Yeah.
So hopefully Texas will pull this out. I think it'll be great for the program. But Arch,
you going Bama? Yeah,
I'm going Bama. Going Bama. Listen, Nick Saban is leaving here with something.
But what you was about to say about Arch? I'm sorry.
He better get it together.
Yeah, look. Look, Quinn Ewers is gonna come back, so Arch got to make a decision if he's staying or if he's going. If he go, I wouldn't be mad at him coming to LSU because Jayden leaving, and I don't know if Nussmeier. I don't know if Nussmeier's the guy.
Fail at LSU.
Who, Nussmeier or Arch? Arch wouldn't fail at LSU. Oh, there you go. Why do you think he would fail at LSU? He gonna have good receivers. We know Brian Kelly cares about quarterback play.
It depends on what's your definition of fail. He's not going to the national championship.
See, okay. I'll say this. I think he could put up great numbers. I think it'll get him NFL looks. I think he could potentially win a Heisman because LSU will be a good team no matter what. Now, will they make it to the playoffs? That's a different story. But it's about to be the 12-man playoff. So I do think LSU can be in the playoff hunt. Now, to your point of will they win a championship? Until they start recruiting better defenses, I can't say that. So I think if Arch's goal is to win a national championship, I don't know if LSU is the best place, but if Arch's goal to be on the national stage, have great weapons, showcase his talent, make the college football playoff with a chance of winning a national championship, then LSU isn't a bad option. So that's why I'll go with it for that. But all right, word. So you got Nick Saban. You do have Texas. You have Texas beating Washington, right?
I got Texas beating Washington.
Okay.
I got Saban going all the way. Leaving with something.
100%. Okay, cool deal. That's our college football talk. Let's switch it over to the NFL. And like I said, we'll be having my brother, Mr. Norman Locke, come on every week. If not every week, every other week, but he will be coming on so y'all hear his thoughts. Let's start off with the Saints. I hate to say when I say you're right, but you were right. Derek Carr is a lemon. Derek Carr is not a competent quarterback in terms of being the franchise quarterback. I think Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael need to get fired. I think if Mickey Loomis isn't willing to make a change, then maybe Gail needs a new GM as well. Maybe it's time to clean house. Maybe Mickey's been here too long. I get he's a salary cap wizard, and we love him for that. But he has to know when it's time to pull the plug. And as good as this defense is, we're seeing the last days of it. And if we can't have a competent offense, it doesn't make sense paying Michael Thomas, doesn't make sense paying Alvin Kamara, and it doesn't make sense paying Derek Carr. I think it's time that we start to tank to try to get better players in the draft. Because the Saints are capable of making it to the playoffs, but just lose in the first round. And if we consistently do that, we'll never get good draft picks. And if we make it to the playoffs and lose in the first round, this horrible coaching staff will be back, and that's what we don't want.
Lynn, you could feed a whole nation how you was just cooking right now. You was cooking, but
I gotta be honest.
I need more. Because you know why? Because this was, first off, let's go all the way back. Let's go all the way back. I was right. So let's start with that. I was right. I'm gonna say it one more time.
I give it to you.
Tape was there. I don't know what Saints fanatics tried to, put themselves under a voodoo spell, one would say, of Derek Carr. But listen, we literally seen Derek Carr, Dennis Allen in Oakland, and Saints fans tried to scapegoat everything but what it was. Them two together and separately
failed.
Weren't good.
Yeah.
See, Saints fans had a mirage, and that's what I call it. It was a mirage. And the mirage was they seen Matthew Stafford go from Detroit to the Rams and go to the Super Bowl. So they're like, ooh, I'm going to go get this aging quarterback that was at a supposedly bad franchise, and I'm going to put him over here. But it's two different things. Matthew Stafford is way better than Derek Carr.
And Sean McVay can coach 2 million miles around Dennis Allen. Maybe, I'll say this, maybe if we had a good coach, maybe the Vikings coach, maybe San Francisco's coach, I'd even say the Eagles coach, someone that's competent at, no, let me not say the Eagles because he's just a motivator. Let me say the Packers, someone who's competent at offense, then maybe with the talent we have, they could have used Derek Carr as a game manager and we could have won. But with Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael, there's no winning with Derek Carr. There's just not.
And I'm just gonna, throw a little more gasoline on the fire. You should have been upset because Sean Payton set y'all up for this failure.
Oh yeah, he quit on us. That's a fact.
First round picks.
And then left.
Invested money in Taysom Hill at the quarterback position. Now it's worth it with everything that he's been doing since, but he initially
gave him too much
money and time and effort and coaching into trying to build the offense around Taysom Hill because he was supposed to be the next Steve Young, supposedly from Sean Payton. Then you get Teddy Bridgewater. He wasn't the answer.
Wasn't bad, but wasn't the answer.
You get Jameis.
Wasn't the answer.
Now you keep retaining Jameis and you're stringing him along, but Jameis hasn't truly gotten his fair chance. But at the same time, you're spending over $50 million.
Way too much.
At the quarterback position, just at the quarterback position. Recipe for disaster. Then guess what? Your guy's stealing. Cameron Jordan, he's stealing. He's stealing.
He's not that bad.
Can you please, Lynn, look up how many sacks Cameron Jordan has on the season when he got re-signed with a new contract this offseason?
Let's see.
How has he rewarded the organization for rewarding him? Can you please show me?
It's Cam Jordan for this year. Stats. Here we go. Cam Jordan.
And for everybody, I'm going to have the sound effects for y'all next time. I'm going to have the sound effects for y'all next time.
In 2023, Cam Jordan had 2 sacks and 16 solo tackles. Golly, that's bad.
So listen.
And 1 fumble recovery, but no forced
fumble. I
don't
want to be the bad guy. And this is against the 3rd easiest schedule.
Yeah, that's the problem.
This is against a bunch of backup quarterbacks.
That's the problem.
Against the NFC South quarterbacks.
And you signed Derek Carr for 4 years, $150 million. We don't have an out with him until 2025. Like, what is that? Like, honestly, Gail might have to just bite it and just cut him, take our losses, and tank. That's what we might have to. That'll be better for because then you could tank, take the out in 2025 and then rebuild the team. This is my
recipe to fix the Saints. Anybody and everybody that touched Drew
gotta go. Yeah,
gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
If you touch Drew, you gotta go.
I'm with you.
Alvin too, though.
No, you got. I think for Alvin as a player
to get some value.
Yeah, for the
team. Rebuild. You're not getting no value for Michael Thomas. You're not getting no value for Derek Carr. You're gonna keep Lattimore because you resigned him.
You need him,
You're
yeah.
gonna keep Adebo. You got Alante Taylor. You got Bees.
That could be the fate. That could be your building blocks to what you built to. Yeah.
The defensive end, the Saints.
You still got Olave under rookie
Still got
deal.
Olave. He's a rookie. I mean, a sophomore coming. You still got him for 3 more seasons. You drafted a running back in Miller. You got pieces. The only value that you could get is Alvin Kamara.
And honestly, for Alvin, as a Saints fan, I value what he's done for us. Let him go try and win a championship because it's not going to happen here. It's just not.
So you let him go.
Gotta let DeMario go. Gotta let Cam. All them old defenders.
No.
Gotta go.
Saints need DeMario to stay. He got to be like Master Splinter.
Oh, okay.
To the rest, him and Cam, you stuck with them two till the wheels fall off.
So they retiring.
The contract is due for what he has done for the city of New Orleans and the organization.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm good with the money. It could have been under the table, Gail, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying he don't deserve his contract.
All right, that's fair.
I'm just saying
I see what you're saying.
Play he's putting on the field for what he has just got his money for. He got to get it together. And
I like that.
All this.
You keep them to be Master Splinter and Roshi.
Cam
Jordan is Roshi, obvious, and then have whatchamacallit as Master Splinter teaching the young players. That's fair.
And you let them ride you got probably like 2 more seasons out them too.
Ride
off to the sun. But everybody else,
yeah, Michael Thomas gotta go. He a diva. He gonna the locker room. If you trying to restart and tank, he gonna just be tweeting how he unhappy, and you don't need that. You don't need that. You know I'm right because Olave is rubbing off on him. Olave talking trash and not wanting to be there.
And I don't crucify GMs for making bad picks at quarterbacks because it is a gamble.
But this wasn't a gamble. You knew what you saw.
This is what I have a problem with. If you stick with a problem that is consistent. If you see a problem at the quarterback position and it hasn't been rectified multiple years, that's a you problem, Mickey.
And then you go and choose a quarterback that has never had success, that only had success 1 year. 1 year, people were convincing themselves because he was an MVP candidate and was like number 4, not even 3, 2, or 1, number 4, or even 5. He was 5 or 4 on the list because he had that 1 year back in 2013, 10 years ago. Come on, Norm. Come on, bro. Like, what is that?
I just would like to say, whenever you want your bag for the games, you can come and get it. I got the Gucci. I got the Louis.
We don't even deserve that. I need a Walmart bag to put over the head.
You know what I'm saying? Proud because I'm proud of you. You know, bags.
But I got to be honest. That's what I was ready to talk to you because Saints fans, we got to be honest to ourselves. And if we restart, we could be good. Like, imagine drafting Shador, drafting Quinn Ewers, getting one of these young quarterbacks. That's what we need because the league, there's too many gunslingers in the league. Too many.
And you know, Derek Carr, it's just something about him in the locker room with wide receivers. It's just not panning out.
Yeah, it don't work.
They go to jail.
It didn't even work. I'm not going to say all that, but I'm going to just say it didn't work with his best friend.
How many wide receivers went to jail in Oakland? How many wide receivers went to jail in New Orleans?
Stop that, man.
Individuals. They are individuals. I'm just saying sometimes things are coincidental.
That's fair. All right, that's enough Saints talk. But I will say, hopefully, like I said, we draft a young quarterback. I would say coach-wise, Eric Bieniemy, brother. Eric Bieniemy sitting right there, ready to take over for New Orleans, man. I'd put Eric Bieniemy, or I'd go get the offensive coordinator from the Lions, Ben Johnson. Because the Lions guy is great. Either one of them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You think that's bad options?
Well, I just haven't truly started thinking about head coach options.
That's fair. We can talk about that another time.
Yeah, because the question is would a coach want to go to a certain destination? Like, do you after seeing the dysfunction, and what if you fire DA, you fire Pete Carmichael, Lynn, if Mickey called me and asked me to come be the quarterback, to come be the head coach, and I have to run with Derek Carr?
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. That's true.
Yeah, that's a harder job.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think if you are a coach trying to take the Saints job, I think it's you come with the intention of we're coming to transform the franchise. And Derek, we can't play with. We trying to tank to get good draft picks and get a future quarterback. Derek Carr isn't that. So we need to cut bait and trade him or cut him. One of the two. You got to eat it. This is one that you just say, hey, we made a mistake. We got to eat it. Teams got to eat those. Every team has had to eat a contract. The Saints got to eat this one. It is what it is.
Gumbo. Big old plate of Oka gumbo.
Let's get off the Saints. Let me ask you, because I know we got Cowboys fans listening. How are you impressed with your team? I'm going to be honest, Norm. We was honest about the Saints. I don't know if y'all are the best team in the NFC. Right now, I would say it's the 49ers. Even though they have a game manager at quarterback, I think the defense of the 49ers is incredible. I think the weapons that Purdy has is incredible. I think Purdy isn't a superstar, but Purdy does what Kyle Shanahan needs him to do. The question is, can he get it done in those big moments? Because that's why they drafted Trey Lance. That's why they wanted to get rid of Jimmy G, is because they wanted someone who could make plays when the play isn't available, someone who could draw it up in the dirt. And I don't know if Purdy is a draw it up in the dirt, but we talking about right now, best team in the NFC, it's either the 49ers or we'll find out this weekend, the Eagles.
It's the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, it's easy to throw slants and let Christian McCaffrey take his 70 yards. It's easy to throw out routes and let Brandon Ayuk take his 70 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to take bubble screens to Deebo Samuels and let him take his 70 yards. I'm going to say this second go round, if it was a rematch between these Cowboys and these 49ers, is not going to go how they think it's going to go. Dak Prescott is reaching this next level. He's going Super Saiyan right now. Like I want people to realize I need him to get his flowers on how Super Saiyan like
he's been great.
And Lynn, what I implore is, they got people saying, well, the Cowboys haven't beat anybody when they run the record, right? The Dolphins haven't. They're number one in the AFC, and people love the Dolphins.
People do love the Dolphins. No, that's fair.
I'm totally confused here, and it's just like I understand the Cowboy bias. I get it. Who have the Eagles beat?
Back-to-back 3 touchdown throw games for Dak Prescott.
Are the Chiefs a good team?
Yeah, I like the Chiefs. I'm not going to not pick
they're sitting at what, 7-5 right now? What they're sitting at?
The Chiefs are sitting at 8-4 right now.
8-4. Are the Chiefs a great team?
You know how I feel. Until Patrick showed me
otherwise.
Bills
a great team.
Hell no. Now I can answer that one right now. The Bills are not good. They got issues.
So, and we had just said that the Dolphins haven't beaten a winning team. So I'm looking at the Eagles' resume like, okay, if our resume is kind of flawed, yours is flawed. Now, I give it to the 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers beat some real people.
49ers is nice team. But I'll tell you that second go-round isn't going to go the same.
My thing is with the 49ers is and this is why I say best team right now in the regular season. And y'all got to show it too, because Dak haven't proved that. In the clutch moments, I don't know if Brock Purdy could get it done. And I think I would choose Dak right now in a clutch moment to lead a drive over Brock Purdy. I'll give you that.
Because Dak Prescott going to make it happen. Look, you see him? I know you see him.
Yeah, I see him back there. I'll give it to you. He been balling. He last 2 games, 3 touchdowns apiece, no interceptions. Guy been killing.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Against the Panthers too. Shoot, I'm looking at it right now. Against the Panthers, he had 2 touchdowns. So
it's Eagles hate week this week.
Are y'all gonna win? That's why because we got to get your picks, because we're not gonna talk to you till next week. How you feel about the game this week? What you worried about? I know Jalen Hurts presents a little struggle. You got AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith, no Goddard, because I don't think Goddard is back yet, but still a lot of weapons and a great defense.
I like all that. They're going to have to come to play. See, my whole thing was the season is a season. It's a gauntlet. It's brutal. Each game, you got to make it out. Them 49ers was hitting, Lynn.
Yeah.
Them Mars was hitting. Guess what? The Eagles have played 3 games in 13 days. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? You gotta rest up them bruises. See, but the Cowboys, guess what, Lynn? We coming off 10 days rest, baby. We played on Thanksgiving. We coming off 10 days rest.
Okay. So you
So we
think y'all
coming
well
off 10.
rested?
Oh, yeah. You see Dak go there and rust that soldier, rust that AC cup. You know what I'm saying? That shoulder blade, all that then got arrested. Tony Pollard then iced them knees down all the way to them ankles. Look, you already know we didn't broke the record for the most interceptions returned for a touchdown.
True.
Listen, that boy done got iced up because he was looking rough in that first half. Metcalf had him on them skates, boy.
Yeah, he
Playing
did.
on them skates, but he shook back because guess what? We the Dallas Cowboys. Lynn, I want you to know this: we're winning the Super Bowl.
So you got the Cowboys.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
What's today's date?
Today is
December
the 5th. Yeah.
Tuesday, December 5th at 3:26 Central Time. The Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl.
His first prediction, let me write it down because I said I'm writing down all predictions that people say on this show because I'm
Dallas
not going to have
Cowboys winning the Super Bowl.
Norman Locke. Let me
Look, I got the pew.
Oh, we're going to have it next week. Norman Locke picks the Dallas Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. Written down in Triple B predictions. We just added it. Norman Locke wins the Super Bowl. All right. You got them as the best team, too, I'm assuming right now, correct?
No, it's the 49ers.
Okay, bet.
49ers.
Who's the best team in the AFC to you?
Oh, all of them stink, man.
Okay. So you don't like, you're not liking the Chiefs.
This is the Dolphins.
You got the Dolphins. My thing with the Dolphins is I think and I don't like to say this, but I think they're a soft team. And soft in
for 2,000.
You think you're going to get it?
You're going to get them 2,000, bro.
I think they're a finesse team. Soft is the wrong word. I don't know if in the trenches they bring power. I don't know if they hit hard when they tackle. I think they're a speed and play on the outside type of team.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So then for me, I think the Chiefs know how to play physical when they need to. And I don't know if the Dolphins have that gear. Are you worried about the Chiefs?
I am worried about the Chiefs because the Chiefs are starting to look like Drew Brees when he had just Jimmy Graham, where the offense was like, it's Jimmy or nothing. And I think it's becoming that way with Kelsey, where it's once you take Kelsey out of the game, or if he's having an off game, or if they scheme him out the game, the offense just looks stagnant. They can't, they could run the ball a little bit, but passing vertically, it just doesn't happen if Kelsey doesn't get active in the game. And my question is how do you mismanage drafting and getting in free agents to come play wide receiver with Patrick Mahomes? How do you miss out on Hopkins? Even that when my Dallas Cowboys aren't getting Cooks, how do you miss out on Cooks? How you miss out on a trade like Amari Cooper when we traded him to the Browns? Like you could have. These are wide receivers that the Chiefs all could.
You could have signed Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas. You could have shopped and got my MT. It's all. There's all multiple problems and solutions that the Chiefs could have had to fix this offense, but they relayed on the Hunt family. That's who owns the Chiefs. They get it, boy, at the $500 million, boy. They said, you gonna work, Patrick. You gonna work. You gonna be on the show with Peyton. We gonna put you in the booth with Taylor Swift. You work, and we gonna get this money out you. We is doing all TikToks. We promote your family.
We doing everything.
T-shirts. Boy, they got Patrick Mahomes on the biggest 360 in the NFL. They got that man working hard, man. Woo, they got Patrick Mahomes working.
That's funny. We're going to talk more about the Chiefs next episode you're on. Let's get your picks for this week. I'm going to give my picks for Friday's episode. So I'm going to just go through some teams and ask you who wins. And then we'll finish up, get you up out of here. Texans, Jets. Oh, well, let's start Thursday night football. Patriots, Steelers. Who you got?
Both
bad teams. Yeah.
Like, this is nasty. But I'm going to go with the Steelers just because it's going to be two well-coached teams. But I'm going to go with the Steelers just because I like their defense more than the Patriots. And I got to go with my frat brother, MT.
100%. All right. Texans, Jets. Who you got?
I gotta go with the Texans. CJ Stroud, he's gonna be injured, so I don't know what they're gonna do with the quarterback position
Yeah.
for that game also.
I
And
hope he
then
come back
lost
because
Tank Dell for the season. But I
yes.
still think that the Texans are gonna be able to win that game. So I got the
Because
Texans.
losing Tank Dell is horrible. That guy had one of the best rookie seasons. And I hope CJ Stroud comes back because what him and D'Amico Ryans did this season, most most overachieved or under impressive. Or wait, no, what's the word I'm looking for?
Get your word right. Get your word right.
Hold on.
Get your word right.
Let me get the right thing. Oh, okay, here we go. They're the most surprising team from the NFL season this year for how good they are because no one expected Texans to be this good. So shout out to CJ Stroud. Shout out to D'Amico Ryans. Rams, Ravens, who you got?
Got the Ravens. Lamar.
All right, let me write this down.
Jackson. Big Jack.
Steelers, Ravens, Texans. All right. Let's see. Next one, we got Panthers, Saints. Two horrible teams. Saints better win this. I'm putting the Saints down for you because there's no way you're picking the
Panthers
Panthers.
had a good game this
You picking the
past
Panthers?
Sunday.
Be real. You're not picking the
They're
Panthers.
overdue for a win. The Saints are trying to get in that bottom 7 pick to get their quarterback of the future. I gotta go with the Panthers for this one.
Oh my gosh, I'm writing it down in all caps. This is an all caps, sir. Panthers.
Upset of the week. Panthers win. Bryce Young wins.
All right. This is gonna be a YouTube short too. Colts, Bengals. Who you got?
Ooh, Colts, man. I meant you've been on a tear.
He has. And the Bengals with no Joe, they look bad. Buccaneers, Falcons.
This nasty matchup. I got Baker.
Baker
been having a good year. The Bucs need to sign Baker.
They do.
Baker, you've been flying under the radar. No, I'm gonna give you flowers. Ain't nobody else been giving you flowers all season. Last season, they wanted to say how bad you were, and you're going from team to team. And Odell Daddy came out and made a video about you. Listen, you've been playing very well for the Bucs.
Yes.
You got Mike Evans another 1,000-yard season. You get your flowers from me, brother.
I'm with you. They got a shot to make the playoffs. Jags, Browns. Who you got?
Trevor Lawrence just got hurt. You don't want to put him out there with that big old man.
Myles Garrett playing basketball on the defensive line.
Clowning. I don't want to do it. I got Browns winning this one.
Yep, I feel you on that one. All right, Lions, Bears. Lions need to win.
I got Lions. They need to win. I hope the Bears win, but I do think Campbell wins this
one. Seahawks, 49ers.
Cool. This is a division
at 49ers too.
I got the 49ers. I got the 49ers win this one. Brock Purdy, he doing his thing right
now. Vikings, Raiders.
Call this the Booty Bowl. Booty Bowl. Sit on a turlet. Do they gotta win? Somebody gotta
win. Yeah, you either. I don't even know who the Raiders quarterback is right now. That's how bad it is.
Quarterback is.
It's Josh Dobbs, bro. It's still Dobbs. Oh, well, I thought Dobbs was coming back.
Let's the Vikings.
All right, Broncos, Chargers. Oh, you going with the Chargers? I think the Broncos will figure it out. Okay. We'll talk about Sean Payton next week after we see how they do this week. I think that's a game we'll definitely talk about because the Chargers, I feel like their coach is beyond the hot seat and is getting fired no matter what happens this season. Bills, Chiefs.
Chiefs need a dub. I'm going Chiefs. Josh Allen put them in the dirt.
Chiefs do need a dub. All right, Eagles, Cowboys. Obviously the Cowboys, so we don't have
to the Cowboys.
Packers, Giants.
Got the Packers.
And finally, Dolphins, Titans.
That's the Monday night game?
That's the Monday night game, yeah. Both of them, Packers, Giants, and Titans, Dolphins are both the Monday night
Dolphins by 1,000.
Yeah. So those are Norm's picks. This has been Norm on the first episode. He'll be back next week. We'll talk about some of these games and more football talk. Norm, tell the people where they can follow you at on social media.
You follow me at Locke_Norm. No, that's wrong. It's Norm Locke _.
Wait, that's I thought it is. Wait, hold on.
It's Locke Norm _ It's one of them. If you type my name in, that's how.
Yeah, it's Locke. It's Locke _Norm.
Yeah, it is.
So Y'all make sure y'all go follow my brother Norm. Thank you so much for being on this episode. We'll talk to you next week, and let's finish.
Sound effects for you.
Yes, sir. Let's finish up Triple B right now. We want to say thank you so much to my brother, Mr. Norman Locke, for coming on the show. We had a blast, and he will be back every week going forward. And if he misses a week, he will be back the following week. That's a guest that will be consistently coming on the program. Now, whether that'll be every Tuesday or every Wednesday, those might fluctuate, but he will be on the program every week. Make sure you go follow him, Locke_Norm. Follow me at LinBWT. Follow BrosWhoThink at BrosWhoThink. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We're giving you content every day. And don't worry about anime content. That's going to start picking up every day. I just had to get used to the sports. I got my schedule. And now we'll start having more anime content coming as well. So subscribe to YouTube. And if you're listening on the audio devices, subscribe, because tomorrow Bros Who Binge is dropping. And then Friday, the BrosWhoThink podcast, plus much, much more. But until tomorrow, when we're doing high school football Thursdays, well, it's high school sports Thursdays going forward, but it's a high school football Thursday this Thursday. If you're in the Acadiana area, we are talking about the 3 Acadiana teams left, specifically LCA and STM, then a little Opelousas versus Cecilia, and it ended off Acadiana versus Catholic of Baton Rouge with my special guest, Ian Ozan. You don't want to miss it, so tune in tomorrow. But until then, have a good one, and peace.